Hey, good morning, everybody. Actually, back on this RCA Victor C-3E radio again, and one of the things that I did not do was work on the clock motor. However, the longer that it ran, the louder it got, and I was afraid if I let it run like that, that whatever the problem is could be, like if it's gummed up gears or whatever, or what that puts a pressure on all those gears moving back and forth, and you can wear those gears out prematurely. Well, I mean, not prematurely, but you could wear those gears out by that all that friction added by whatever. So I took it upon myself this morning to I decided, let's get that fixed. I said I didn't want to touch it. I really don't want to touch it, but I went ahead and pulled the case apart. I've unhooked all the wiring off the clock. So now I'm trying to decide. I'm going to get the clock out, which means I got to take all the dials off very carefully. Oh my gosh, it just scares me to death. So I'm going to get the dials off so I don't damage any of that. That way I can get the whole mechanism back out without having to worry about tearing it up, any of the dials. So once I get the dials off and everything, I don't think I want to show that, because if I screw it up, I don't want y'all to think even more or less of me. So I'm going to get the dials off next, which means I got to take the, let me show you something. I mean, I don't really think I have to show you this, but right here, you can see it, little clip. It's got the same thing on the bottom, if you can see it, that little clip right there. That clip is what holds the front cover on. So I'm going to pull those clips, pull the cover off, and attempt to get the dials off the front, and or the pointers off the front arms. Get the clock arms off, and when I get that done, I'll bring you back. Alright, give me a minute. Well, I don't recommend that for people with bad hearts. I was able to get the minute, second hands and all that off. However, with a little collateral damage, some of the paint flaked off, the little white paint flaked off, and I may wind up having to repaint this. That's why I didn't want to mess with this. That reason. Anyway, I've got them off now. I can handle the clock safely without fear of really destroying something that can't be replaced. So, let me get you down here. There's a clock. I mean, there's a radio with the clock still intact. Zoom you in a little bit. Try to keep you in frame here. So, turn it back over, and there's two. Let's see here. Two 5/16 nuts right here. One up here, one here. Got to take those loose. 5/16 nut driver. Lift the chassis up off of it. Put it over here out of harm's reach. Now, where are you? Here it is. My clock, my camera's upside down. This is it right here. This is the mechanism, and boy is it a mechanism. I see some gummed up grease on there. I'm going to probably stop this video a minute to take lots and lots and lots of pictures of this. Man, there's all kinds of stuff in here. But what I would like to do, and I'm going to try to get the clock motor off first, and it looks like there's a screw here and then another screw here. Should be able to get, I want to hear the clock motor by itself, and if it's quiet, then I know it's gears, and I'm going to probably see what it's going to take. Open this thing up, clean all the grease off these gears and relubricate it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll get back. I'll probably bring it back in just a second to see what the motor sounds like, depending on what it does. So I'll be back. Alright, I have the clock motor out. It's pretty nasty. I have to get my glasses on so I can see. But it's made by, the clock is actually made by General Time Corporation. Has a 3 marked on it. You can see it. I think they call these synchronous motors. There's a lot. The gears right here don't look bad. There's not a lot of slop in the shaft, a little bit of slop in the shaft. But let's hook it up to the 110 and hear what it sounds like by itself. Just hooking it up to my isolated power supply because it's convenient. Let's hear what it does. Here we go. Quiet as a mouse. Good. Okay. And all that being said, I'm going to get to the all that being said, I'm going to get to the mechanism now, and a lot of gears, a lot of stuff. I got to take lots of pictures, make a lot of notes, and go from there. Could be worn out gears making it noisy. It could be just dried up grease. Everything needs to be lubricated. I don't know, but I'm going to try to get it apart without destroying it, and hopefully if I do get it apart without destroying it and clean it all up, be a good job from Malt or something cleaner. Anyway, take it apart, clean it up, hopefully get it back together how I got it apart, just cleaner. Put it back together, hopefully it'll work. So bring it back when I'm successful, I hope. Alright, right off the bat on this clock motor, I want to take the clock assembly. By the way, this clock is made by West Clock, Saw, Illinois, made in USA. Anyway, taking the clock off of the dial face, if you will. There's 4 tabs, metal tabs, right here, right here, right here, and right there. You pry them off super careful. Take your time, let the metal react. You don't want to push it too fast because it will break. First time I ever done with these, but I can assure you that things like that will break if you push them too fast. Anyway, bring it back when I'm on the next stage. Bye. Alright, I've got the very unique part taken off the clock motor. So now I got just the clock assembly itself here now. Here's the timer switch right here. It's a timer activator. All the little gears and all. Look at that little constant. That's one funky looking little dude. I'm trying to decide if I want to take it apart or I just want to throw a little extra degreaser in the ultrasonic, stick that sucker in there and ultrasonic the smack out of it. The only thing is I'm not sure about are these right here. They're a little stained anyway. Not an easy way. I can get it out, but I just don't know, y'all. Let me think on this. I just don't want to tear nothing up. My gosh. I'll come back. Bye. Oh man, what have I got myself into? What have I got myself into? Here is the carnage. Some of this stuff uses pressed in gear. Some of it's not coming out without destroying it. So I will get me some degreaser hold of that, and probably WD-40. I'll WD-40 all this grease off here and all this stuff, and then I'll prep it for ultrasonic. But here's what I wanted to show you guys. This, now I'm not a clock maker or clock repairer at all, but this arm, let me see, hang on a second, let me get these right. These 4 gears right here are for the one is the second hand, which if you'll look real close, gummed up, full of sticky gum. Now I think we found our problem. It was making noise because it was in a bind. So that's got to be cleaned. Then this probably is the minute hand, I think. Same thing, gummed up. And our hand, gummed up. And then this is the alarm setting right here, which is the innermost. So all this stuff is all gummed up and nasty. So it's going to get all cleaned with WD-40 to degrease it, and then I'm going to throw it in the ultrasonic and give it a good bath, and hopefully I can figure out how to put this stupid thing back together. And the springs here, my gosh, it'd be springs that I didn't even know we had. And like, that's a spring here, I'm not sure where it even come from. I did take pictures. Hopefully that'll help. So anyway, bring you back. Okay, I'm gonna bring you back a minute. It's a little bit noisy, I apologize. Ultrasonic is on duty. I'm running this at about 40 degrees centigrade water temperature. I ran it for about 25 minutes. It's still got about 14 minutes. Still using the original solution I made a couple of days ago. Now y'all can do whatever you want. 409's always worked for us. 409 and a little bit of Dawn. Let's see how things are cooking. Things in there doing this thing. The only thing I don't like about so far, one thing I don't like about this is the size of the grid. That's probably about 5/8 of an inch square. Really too narrow to do anything delicate. So I found an old television I had a really, like an 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch grid in it, on the bottom that I tore apart. I just stuck that in the bottom, that way I could put all my small parts in there, and probably sounds horrendous. Put all my small parts in there and I'll have to worry about fishing them out. Anyway, it's cooking, so I'll be back when I'm done. Alright, it's all been cleaned, degreased best I can. Ultrasonic. They look good. I don't know what to do from here. I have no clue how to put this back together. So I'm not going to record that, but matter of fact, during the process I found these 2 little dudes over there in the other building. I had no idea those were there. I don't know how many I lost, but I don't know. I know where the first one come from. I know where the second one come from. I have no clue where the first one come from. I have no idea. Had it been on a shaft, had it been on a gear, so I'm just gonna play with it. so I can make it look right. So I'll bring you back when I fix this thing, hopefully. Alright, real quick. I've got the the 4 pointer gears back in, and look how free it turns now. It did not do that before. They all turn free now. And something like I said a while ago, I'm not a clock repairman at all, and I'm using what I have, but I have some really thin turbine oil, as they call it. But this little tube that I got, I love this. I got to figure out where I can get some more of this. But it's a nice little applicator. So, you know, I put all these on right now to make that way. Now that I've got a reference, now I can go back in and put the gears that's supposed to mesh with it. But I just wanted to see how these felt before I went any further. So I got a long ways to go, but I got a few pictures to help me out, so I'll bring you back. Alright. It has been a battle, but this Mariner looking sucker here, I think I got it. No extra parts, and I wasn't missing any. Seems to work. I can spin the gears, and they keep rotating freely. That's a lot better than it was. So I'm about to apply power to it and see what happens. Not that you can see anything. Turn it up. I just want to hear it. So once again, plug it into my isolated power supply, AC power supply. And I want to see this thing. I want to hear it actually work. Here we go. Still making a loud little buzz. I think I know what that is. I'll be right back. Well, I lubricated everything but the motor bearing. Little sleeve shaft or sleeve bearing. Lubricated the sleeve bearing of the motor itself with my turbine oil that I showed you guys a few minutes ago. It's quiet as a mouse now, which could have been part of the problem in the first place, but the whole thing was dirty. It all needed to be cleaned. So I'm going to play with it a little bit, see how it's going to work. Yeah, the motor bearings. Yeah, I can move the axis. You know how something's spinning has centrifugal force? If I just kind of wiggle the clock or the motor, it's resisting that change of axis, like a gyro function, you know, centrifugal action. And it makes the, I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let's see. Hear it before the stupid air conditioner goes off. So I'm going to play with it a little more. I'll see if I can get a little more oil in there and see what happens. Okay, I've gone about as far as this as I can go. It seems like the motor's just a little, the shaft on the motor is just a little bit worn. Put a little bit of turbine oil in it, took it up turned it upside, shaft side up. Kept adding just a little bit of oil in it. So hopefully I can get in there and it'll do some good. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I have to take this motor and have it sent off and rebuilt. So otherwise, I think it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna put it all back together, and once I get it back together and I don't break nothing else, we'll have one more look at it with a face on it and the dials on it and everything, and we'll see how it works. And it's quiet right now, so see how long it stays like that. Anyway, bring you back. Bye-bye. I made it back. Alright, kiddies, I will say that unless you absolutely positively just think I got nothing better to do, or you feel really up to a challenge, don't attempt to do this. It's running, it's quiet. The paint on these dolls is really fragile. I just have Tester's enamel, white enamel, that I had laying around. You can buy it in any hobby store. Get you a pile of these little $5 tiny brushes. I just touched up the areas that needed it. I didn't really want to push it too far. Still not 100% sure I got this on right, but it's running. Telephoto you in there. It also had radium on the middle part of the dials. I don't have any radium. I don't really intend to buy any, but it's working. So I'm going to sweep the hands around, and if the hands don't fall off and they don't contact each other, I'm going to put the thing back together and bring you back. Okay, guys, it is installed. Not going the wrong way here. It's installed back like it. I found it. Got to put that back in place. That won't take me just a minute. But it is there. Everything is in place. Everything is like it was. Let's have a look at the front. A little bit of paint made a little difference. But if you look real close, you can probably tell that some rank amateur painted it. But all right, I'm going to turn it on. She starts off a little noisy. She got a little wear in it. That's the best I can do, though. After all this work, that's the best I can do. Anyway, that's that for whatever it's worth. You know, more for entertainment than, I don't know if it's even worth the crap. Might even not even publish it. I don't know. But anyway, there you go. It's a working.